Now it's recording, so I'm finna kick this off. We are ready, we are rolling, and we are recording. Hey, it's me, J.Evans. Jennifer Holliday once sang, and I am telling you, I'm not going. I'm staying. I'm staying. And you, and you, and you're gonna love me. And everyone seemed to love Will Smith. The crowd gave him a standing ovation after he won Best Oscar for King Richard for Best Actor, even though he had just slapped all of the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth. Now, I previously covered this discussion. Part one, I had guests Dave and Shanika. They chimed in on their thoughts and opinion. And then I had a separate video that showed the actual footage and I gave my opinion. You can click in that description and get caught up, but you need to subscribe so you won't miss out. Now, they say it takes a village to raise a child. I believe that. It also takes a village to give you different thoughts, opinions, and perspectives. And today, I got a new village with me, baby, because these three women are going to tell it like it is. That's why I pulled the three of them together. My first guest is Kiana. That's right, from Kiana Vision. That's right here on YouTube. Her series includes the Black Content Corner that I was featured on. Black is Feminine, a visionary tale book club. She also does live chats and she covers various topics. Now, she also covered this topic. And if you are not watching and subscribing to her, I don't know what you've been missing out on. Kiana, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited.
Thank you for joining me. Now, my next guest is Amy. I like to call her Sherelle for two reasons. One, I love a good middle name, baby. And two, she can sing better than a singer, Sherelle. Y'all remember Sherelle? They used to sing "You Look Good to Me." Well, she can't blow like Amy can. Now, let me tell you something. If you need to step your hair game up, Amy is who you need. She is the owner of Signature Strand, and they provide top quality hair that will have you looking like $1 million without paying $1 million. You can go to www.signaturestrand.com and their IG is Signature Strand. So you can go over there and check her out. Amy, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. I'm here for it today. I am excited to be here and I am ready to get started. I'm ready to get rolling, ready to get
I'm ready. I am ready. And last but certainly not least is Polished Night. She is a fashionista and a stylist. She's been featured in Essence magazine not once but twice. That's right. She's also a makeup artist that can help you have your face be from top to bottom. Oh, yes. Now, she blogs about fashion and she provides you with makeup and styling tips, and she educates you on how to have a well put together look with any budget. She's also here on YouTube with her channel, Polished Night, and you can follow her on Instagram, Polish_Night. Polished Night, what is going on?
Oh, just nothing. Just Justin here. I think we're trying to have a storm here in Nashville, but I'm just ready to be here with you all today and excited.
I'm ready for you to storm down your opinion because I know you're going to tell it like it is.
I like to be,
Okay, so let's get into it. So everybody has been saying, I'm tired of hearing about Will Smith. Some people say he's protecting his queen. Some people say it was a low down, dirty shame, like Jada's movie, what he did to Chris Rock when he gave him that backhand like Joe Jackson. Now, this took place at the 94th Academy Awards. It won't be remembered for any events that happened besides that slap that was heard around the world. It won't be remembered for the three hosts, Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer. Or it won't be remembered for D Nice. Y'all remember rapper D Nice that's now a DJ? Well, he was the house DJ. It won't be remembered for the performers like Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, and Reba McEntire. Reba was there too. Come on, sis. Then another standout moment was that Will Packer led the first all-black production team for the Oscars.
Exactly.
Now, Questlove won Best Documentary for Summer of Soul, which Chris Rock presented before Will Smith came and the incident happened. But people won't remember it for that either. Now, a lot of people question the Oscars and they're asking them, why aren't y'all doing anything about this? Y'all got Will Smith out here acting a bunny hop, jackrabbit fool, and it ain't even Easter. Well, the Oscars said, we tried to take him out. He wouldn't go, okay? I'm going to get into their quick response as well as a response from Wanda Sykes, who was a writer on the Chris Rock show, and she won an Emmy in 1999. I didn't know that. Tony Rock, Chris' brother, has something to say on Twitter. Richard Williams, the father of Venus and Serena, who Smith portrayed, had something to say. And Amy Schumer, Jim Carrey, and Jaden Smith, and even Jada had something to say. So before we get into this, let me tell you their thoughts. We'll start with the Oscar committee. Now, they said Smith refused to leave the Oscars after slapping him, Chris Rock. The Academy said Wednesday they provided Smith with a 15-day notice that he would be sanctioned, and they apologized to Chris Rock for an uneventful moment on stage. They also apologized to the guests and nominees. Now, Wanda went on Ellen and she said, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I saw Chris and he was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, why are you apologizing? He was like, it was supposed to be your night. You and Amy and Regina were doing a good job. I'm sorry. Now, she doesn't agree with what happened. She's against Will. Chris Rock brothers, when they asked him should Will's Oscar should be taken, he said he does not know. But he also said it was not his call. When they asked him how his brother was doing, he said he's still rich. So he's telling y'all he got them coins and he don't care, baby. Now, Jim Carrey said that Will Smith should be hit with a lawsuit for $200 million. He said that's where he needs to be hit where it hurts. Now, their dad, Venus and Serena dad, released a statement through his son. He said, we don't know the full gist of it, but we do not condone anyone hitting someone unless it's in self-defense. Jaden, their son, said, and that's how we do it. Now, people got in a comment and told Jaden they will mollywop your dad, Jaden, so you better stop playing with these people. Now, Amy Schumer said that she was triggered and traumatized. She's receiving backlash because people like, girl, you ain't even the one that got mollywopped on that stage, so what is you talking about? And Jada had this to say. The lady of the hour took to her Instagram and said, this is a season for healing, and I'm here for it. In regards to her hair, using an old quote from Desert News, Jada said, I liked my hair out wild and curly, but nobody wanted that. I had to learn to get the courage to do what I'm doing. This is why I feel freedom today. I don't give two craps what people feel about this bald head of mine, because guess what? I love it. So that leaves a lot of people to say, Jada, you released this statement as far as healing. They guess you're gonna dust off the red table, sis. So if you
Jesse?
Who's
You
that?
on hold. Put itself on hold.
Oh, okay.
Play what I'm doing.
wait, we gonna
Okay,
pause.
there you go.
Okay, we back.
Okay.
Let me. Okay, y'all back. So Chris has had a sold out show. They said that he beefed up his security, but his show has sold out. So all of that, ladies, I want y'all honest opinion. Now, the Academy said Will Smith refused to leave. Do you think if Will would have slapped a white presenter, he would have been removed? I'm going to start with you first, Kiana.
I just want to say that was a great intro because I didn't even know all that information. I didn't really follow the story like that, but that really caught me up. Thank you. I think that he would have been held accountable if he slapped a white woman. Yes. I think if he slapped anybody, he would be held accountable. I think he should be held accountable.
You think he
But
should?
I do. It's like I can see all sides. So, yeah, he should definitely be held accountable. If you get up on the stage at the Oscars and slap somebody, you're not going to get away just, no punishment. But I think that you can't look at a situation black and white, any situation. So you have to take into account everything that played into the situation and everything that happens because of the situation, which I can go into deep. But yeah, if he slapped a white woman, he should be held accountable for sure.
Okay, Polished Knight. Do you think that if Will would have slapped a white presenter, it would be the same thing? Or do you think he'd be like just whisked away because they allowed him to stay?
Well, from my perspective, I wouldn't just say a white presenter because everybody thinks differently. To me, I personally would think a white person would make a joke about a person's hair because they're a little bit more sensitive or considerate. But not just like I said, I wouldn't say black or white. What I've learned in social work and the human behavior, you can never predict human behavior. Anybody, mental health status doesn't matter because we all can have mental health status if we go into outpatient services or not. But anybody can have an abnormal situation. That's why human behavior can never be. And I just feel like us as a person, you can never predict. I feel like it's judgmental to just say what he should be, what should happen, or how something should be done. Because I would have never expected him to, not just him or anyone to go on stage and slap an individual. But and also to say, I say that also to say this: you never know what people are going through and how long and what their limit is, because our society, the social media, the Instagram, and internet has really ran to the ground about the entanglement, about we made assumptions about how they're treated, how they treat each other in their marriages and things of that nature. So we don't know to what extent, to what level Will was at a point for that situation to happen. And everybody knew about Jada's hair. I always knew she had beautiful hair, and she did speak of her hair. And people were trying to say they didn't know they did because she spoke of her hair situation. And just certain things about women, you just don't automatically just come up to them and talk about hair, weight, and how they treat their family or how their parents. And there's certain things that you just don't address with women. And if you do address with women, be cautious about it because you don't know how that person take it. It may be a trauma to them. So I was shocked just like everybody else, but like I said, you cannot predict human behavior because I may one day, be refrain from slapping somebody or slap somebody. I don't know.
Okay. That's Holly's take on it. Now, Sherelle, do you think if he would have slapped a white presenter, he would have been removed?
I think it would have depended on which white presenter. Would it have been somebody of, it just depended, I think, on the status.
I'm going to say Tom Cruise.
He probably would have been out of there. But I also think that if it was somebody like Denzel or somebody, he would have been out of there. So I think that status plays a major part in it. I just think Chris was doing his job. I mean, I've heard worse jokes than a G.I. Jane joke. And I don't watch the Red Table. There are certain things that I know about, but I don't watch it. So I think that we you know, I honestly don't think Chris knew about Jada's alopecia, and I think that that's been confirmed that he didn't know. I've never known Will to be this outlandish person, but I've never known Chris to just be this insensitive person as well. I think had he known that, he wouldn't have said it. I think he was just doing his job. And while we cannot predict, I agree with Vanika, we can't predict human behavior, but I don't want my husband. I think we've come a little bit far in life to be lashing out, hitting people. I just think that, you know, it could have been handled differently, but I wouldn't expect somebody to just come and slap the taste out of my mouth, and that to be the slap that was heard across America for something that I said, because sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words will never, never. And so, you know, and I just think a lot of people are, you know, just thinking, you know, Will, he was defending her honor. And I am kind of, when I hear people say, oh, she was sickly, alopecia is not a sickness. Some people would love to trade places with her, with the sicknesses that they have. And with Will, it's not an excuse for him being the butt of jokes, because when you open yourself up and you open up your marriage and you invite people in, then you need to deal with any insecurities you have at home. Chris didn't deserve it.
And he says he did not deserve it.
He did not deserve it. And I felt bad for Chris because he had to really think about it. And I'm glad he literally took the time to think about where he was and that he didn't respond, because it's our human nature that if somebody hits you, you hit them back.
You do. Now they say by Chris taking the slap and Will giving it, that Will has sort of become the villain and Chris has become the hero. But some people say, and this has been reported allegedly, that Chris had a script that he was supposed to stick to. He went off script with the joke about Jada. Okay. Now, a lot of people say comedians, if you go to a show and you're sitting in the audience, they're going to talk about you, right? Yep. At an award show, they're going to talk about you. But do y'all think, this next question, when the joke was first told, Will was laughing. Now, he must have looked at Jada, because Jada had that look like Stoney and set it off when they just had shot her brother. And they said that's where the reaction came from. But do you think if Jada would have laughed the joke off and it would never been a slapping situation, people would still say he's being insensitive to her having alopecia? Because a lot of people I didn't know, but they say she has videos. I've seen clips now. So do you think if that joke would have went over, Chris Rock would still have the same backlash, I'm gonna start with you, polished night?
Repeat that last part again.
Do you think if he would have told the joke and Jada and Will both would have laughed and that incident would have happened, that people would still like he's being insensitive to Jada?
Well, I can't say from the TV perspective. We saw him laugh, but TVs are the actual live recording is actually different and delayed more so when we look at it and see it. You can tell that from just videos and stuff that we record. If I pull this up on this phone and pull it up on my tablet, it's going to be delayed. It's a delay. So I can't really say. And some people smile when they mad. So I can't just really say that. Everybody don't have the same facial expressions as everyone else. I can't really say if he was upset or not, because some people smile. I do know some people that smile when they are upset. You just can't tell. And G.I. Jane was a masculine woman. Jada's very feminine. So she may have gotten offended because of G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane purposely cut her hair out. And Jada could not help her hair falling out. And I have had friends of sorors. I have had a soror with beautiful long hair, and she took it hard when her hair came out with alopecia. So I know alopecia, people may feel like it's not a medical condition, but it actually is because my friend took it hard. She had to wear wigs and all that. So now she's wearing her hair bald because she's got more stronger with herself inside. But when at Jackson State University, she had long, beautiful hair. As as she started, moving on and growing on and all that, her hair had thinned out. So she was really upset by that. So, and I knew that personally because she expressed that to me. But somebody outside looking in would think that she was fine or that wigs with her hair and things of that nature. So we can't really say how a person should feel because people have alopecia. A lot of people have alopecia. I've experienced fractional alopecia when a stylist took out my hair, and I was upset about it because I couldn't get my hair cut short. I was upset about it and scared that my hair wouldn't grow back, but it did. So we can't really say, how somebody feel, what type of medical condition it is, because we don't know how that person feel about their hair on the inside. But calling her G.I. Jane #2 and not sticking with the script, I mean, that's part of the consequences of not sticking with the script. But she may not want G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane is a masculine person. She was out there like Xena or something, and she did. I let her have on $1,000 long dress. If she felt like she wanted to be called G.I., it wasn't gonna be a problem to her. She probably had on a tuxedo or a pantsuit or something. Not saying if you had a pantsuit, but that lady had on a nice, long, expensive dress. And to sit there and call her G.I. Jane #2 in front of people, to me, that was an insult, I mean, I understand you're a comedian, you can joke, but it's a time and place for certain things. I think that he should just stay with the script.
So you think he should have stuck with it. Now, Sherelle, do you think if they both would have laughed at the joke and the event would have never happened, same thing, would people have said he was out of line? Or do you think
I think that I don't think people would have said he was out of line. Jada definitely dictated Will's behavior. She absolutely dictated Will's behavior with that. And too, we have to be careful with saying that we've embraced something. But the first thing said about it, because one thing about it, it's a lot of stuff about us we do have to embrace. But when we truly embrace something, then what we just behave in that manner. And it's not to say that alopecia, because if I lose my hair, I would be devastated. But we also need to be careful with just saying that this is it's not like Jada hair came out due to cancer or anything such as that. It's not that her hair came out due to cancer or something like that. And it's not to make light of it. I would be devastated if I lost my hair. But if I have gotten to a point in life where I'm all over the internet talking about I embraced it and I love me, then should you have gotten that upset? Like if that comment was made, I just really think that it just went too far. I don't look at it as a defense or anything. I think it's inexcusable. And I think Chris was, as many comedians who's hosted the Oscars, was doing his job. And as a result of that, he got the shit smacked out of him by Will Smith. But yeah, like I said, I would be devastated if I lost my hair. But then too, you hear people out here saying stuff like, well, he says that, it was just more, when he cracked on Jada because she has this condition. Do you know how many people suffer from alopecia? Just look up the stats. She's embraced it, so you have to fully embrace it, meaning that when you outside of your house and you get stares, then you don't look at the people and roll your eyes. You embrace the person that you say that you come to love without the hair. So I think had Jada not rolled her eyes Baltimore style, because she's from Baltimore. So had she not rolled her eyes Baltimore style, then I don't think that Will would have behaved in such a manner that has stained his character.
His character. Okay. So you said Baltimore style. So this question, Kiana, I'm going to start with you because people keep saying that the Black woman is not protected. Black women are some of the hardest working people. They don't get the right kind of pay. They don't get the right kind of respect. They don't even get their husbands, their boyfriends to stand up for them at the right time. So people are saying, the people that agree with him, they're saying he did the right thing, even if they might necessarily not agree with the slap. But do you think Will Smith was protecting his wife, or do you think he was being a bully?
I think that he was showing his wife that he chose her. I think he was choosing family. So like I have alopecia, actually, traction alopecia, but my hair does not grow on the side of my head. Well, I don't know if anybody ever knows. I say on my channel all the time, that's why I wear my hair down. As a Black woman, I don't think that we have a lot of opportunity to exude femininity, right? We are feminine. I actually believe Black women are the most feminine female on this earth. We are. Every Black woman I know is very graceful until you try us. Then you might get another story. But I just think that Chris Rock and a lot of other comedians are saying, I mean, he didn't say this, but a lot of people are saying it was just a joke. It was just a joke. But then you joke on white women like that too. I never hear comedians talk about white women's appearances. Actually, I think he made a joke right before he went to Jada and said something that they could actually laugh at. It was lighthearted. But for some reason, when it comes to Black women, people think that they can tear us apart. And I think Black women are so brainwashed that we actually just accept it. And if anybody, we actually, I mean, no shade, but Black women actually help the narrative that we're so hard and tough and we can take everything and it was just a joke. No, we have the right to say, hey, I'm sensitive about my alopecia. I don't think that her eye roll was like a dog whistle. I don't. I think her eye roll was her eye roll. And I think that he knows his wife and he knows that she was hurting. If somebody, I can come on camera right now and say, I accept my alopecia, and I do. But if somebody hurts my feelings, it's a different story. You feel what I'm saying? So I would agree. I don't think that you should just put human behavior aside for politics and, just I feel like it's just a dangerous place to take your human behavior out of the picture. You don't know what you would do. And I think everybody has known somebody who said, if this happens, oh, we finna be fighting. Or if this happens, this is about to happen. So I don't think it's so far-fetched to understand why he did it. I don't. I do I don't agree that he should get no consequences. But I do think Will Smith, I actually have been following him for a while, and he is on a spiritual journey, like personally, like outside of, Bel Air. I don't even really watch that show, but outside of Bel Air and really Black culture, Will Smith is very popular amongst people. And I think Black people don't understand that. Um, I think Black is a culture more than a skin color. And I think that a lot of Black people sometimes only consider certain things, but I think you have to see things from all sides. That's how you have to judge a situation. You can't just say what somebody should do, what you wouldn't find, what you wouldn't be so sensitive about. You don't know what people are going through. Like I said, it doesn't excuse the slap. It doesn't. But I do think he weighed the consequences and he did it anyway. I think that he did that. And sometimes we have to choose our integrity and morals over politics and laws and rules and stuff. Sometimes I think you just you sleep better when you make certain choices that everybody may not agree with, but I think they slept good that night. I really do. I think that they
So you
had
feel like he protected her.
not protected. I think that he showed her that he loved her. And I don't think in moments like that, because, okay, so I worked at a place one time and I was getting tried every day. I mean, every day. I didn't know what to do. I kept complaining. I kept going to HR. I kept doing all of the things that you just do, the protocol that you do when somebody is harassing you, right? None of it worked. Sometimes, and I know Black people have heard this, sometimes you got to get people up off of you. I didn't fight nobody, but I didn't go by the rules. And it worked. I was happier going to work. I didn't have to sacrifice my peace during the day. Like I said, I'm not saying it's right, but I bet nobody ain't finna talk about her alopecia no more. And if they do, they're just trolling. But like I said, he should get his reward revoked. He should not be able to show up anymore. Those are the rules I do think should be in place. But I don't judge. People say they don't judge, but everybody judges to a certain extent. But I don't judge decisions like that because I think I have good discernment for when something is truly emotional. So I just don't think you can judge people's emotions so harshly with what your standards are. That's it.
Now, Polished Knight, do you think he was protecting his wife? Do you think he was standing up for his woman?
I do. I think that he was standing up for his for his wife. I do. Because to a certain extent, like I said, when it comes to women's hair, regardless if she says she embraced or not, look at Mary J. Blige. She's for an example. She said she had to get to the point where she tell herself, "Good morning, gorgeous." As the spiritual song called "Encourage Yourself," a lot of times we talk the talk, but it's a process. You don't just have to do it consistently. What, at least 21 days consistently. So we can talk about embracing ourselves and all that, but you have to continue to do that. You have to say it, you have to think it, you have to believe it. So a lot of times people say they're embracing or they're doing this or they're healing all. It's a process because you just don't heal and embrace stuff overnight, and we don't know the time frame. Also, I have two questions. If it was a transgender, would have been a big deal? Okay. And also, with Chris Rock having that show called Good Hair, why would you, African American woman, when you had convinced us that relaxers went good for our hair? So a lot of people went natural because of Chris Rock documentary of Good Hair. So that goes back to the fact where you make this documentary, but then you make fun of this our African American sister in front of other Caucasian, other people, you know. So it's kind of had me going. I don't know if I like you said that I don't condone that slap, but to a certain extent, were you really serious about our hair, or was you making it something you thought of a money making deal? You know, understand what I'm saying? There's no way I can make a documentary about African American women's hair and then make fun of it and call her G.I. Jane. You know what I'm saying? And if he made that documentary, you had to do some research. So somewhere in that research, it did come up about her alopecia. Or about alopecia in period. It didn't come up about her, but you did, when you made that move, you did research about alopecia. And the same way she felt about alopecia, it may be like that from other people who had alopecia as well. So when you made that documentary, you did research. So I just don't find it excusable. And I did mention earlier that I don't judge people. It's just the fact that I just don't like us to see the mole in everybody else's eyes. We don't see the mole in ours because nobody's perfect. Everybody's entitled to a mistake. We have all made mistakes professionally and casually. We have all made mistakes. So I felt like he just made a mistake. And then backstage, P. Diddy said that he did apologize. They did talk that they was all right brothers. I don't know. But I think that at some point it was.
Now he said that Puffy did say that. Then it was a statement that was released. They said it was a statement by Chris Rock. His representative said that was false. They said they still have not talked. So I don't know if they're just waiting for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they're saying now. So this leads me to my next question, and I'm gonna start with you, Amy. When he first apologized, when he won his award, he apologized to his actors, his fellow actors, and he apologized to the Academy, right? It wasn't later until he apologized to Chris Rock when he released the statement, but he also did say Jada's medical condition, is part of the reason why his emotions sort of got the best of him. Now, a lot of people said when Will slapped him and walked off that stage, He had a smirk on his face. He was still in the audience when he said, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth" 2 times. They said they thought, a lot of people thought that it was his ego. He still went to the parties. He still, celebrated his win. So, Amy, do you think that even though he apologized, because people saying he apologized now because it's the thing to do you think it's his sincere apology? Like College Night said, we all make mistakes. Or do you think he's just apologizing because it's the politically correct thing to do?
No, I don't think his apology. I think that it would have meant more had he apologized to Chris Rock, then to the Academy. So, but he went all around the world and apologized to everyone else and did not apologize to the man that he spoke. So he didn't have any remorse for what he did. And I think that was a BS apology that he released. I don't think that it was sincere. In fact, I tend to believe what I read somebody else had wrote is that they think that it was something that his attorney crafted. I mean, get your behind on a video, and just like you slapped him and the slap was heard around the world, then you do that. But what we have to be careful about is that I can say whatever I want, and I don't expect for anyone to touch me. You should be able to say what you want, and no one puts their hand on you, because supposing Chris Rock's brother would have been in the audience and Will defended his wife, right? And then Tony Rock felt the need to come and defend Chris because you done hit his older brother. So would that have been okay just because Tony Rock felt like Chris had been offended? You don't earn we don't reserve the right to put our hands on anybody, to defend anybody. And I don't expect my husband to behave in my honor with violence. If you do anything, you go to that man like a man behind the scene and say, Amy was offended at the fact that you made a joke. And maybe you didn't know, but she suffers from alopecia. It's a way that you can do things without promoting violence. Like, it ain't never okay. It ain't ever okay. It disgusted me what we do, because it's never okay to put your hands on anybody to defend. Like, I wouldn't think that was honorable. I would be totally embarrassed that Derek behaved in the manner that Will behaved in. And as it relates to women, whether we be black or white, we don't get what we deserve. Our pay may not be the same, but do I think that's the way to go about it? Absolutely not. Like, I just think that he was totally wrong, and I just don't think that he was defending her honor. I think it was just a bad move. Like, this has overshadowed everybody. Like we said, he put together a black man, and now all you hear about is the slap that was heard around the world. And like I said, I'm glad that Chris thought about where he was. But if you're going to embrace you, then you're going to embrace you. I'm short, don't necessarily like it because you build up weight quick. But you can best believe when Amy step up out of here, don't nobody else matter. Nobody. You understand? So I just think that I don't think he was protecting her. I don't think that he was doing anything. I think that she got pissed off and he just hauled off and hit that man. And it is inexcusable. And he should not be invited back. And from my understanding, they will not strip him of his Oscar. And I don't think that they should, because people have done worse and gotten and kept their Oscars. But I think that, like Whoopi Goldberg said on The View, because she is on the board, and she said there are severe consequences for that behavior, and that he will face some sanctions. So I think it's only fair for that to happen because that's not what we want. Like, people should be able to say what they want without getting slapped like that on national television.
Okay, so we're going to get into that part that you were talking about. Now, Kiana, in your opinion, do you feel like Will Smith's apology was genuine? Like they're saying everybody makes mistakes, or do you feel like he just apologized because it's the thing to do?
Well, I think it was genuine. I know a lot of people have different opinions, and I'm really actually not a violent person at all. So I've never just hauled off and slapped somebody for no reason. And I actually don't condone violence myself, but I've never snapped on somebody, cussed them out because my mouth is wicked. I ain't never cussed nobody out and apologized right after because I said what I said and I meant what I said. So you got to wait for the apology till I calm down. So I just think that people forget, like I said it, earlier, human behavior. Human behavior is very important to look at. You can't, on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, I think people have to get away from judging people's decisions. I do think people should be handled. I do think before anyone does anything, I mean, eat food, I mean, slap somebody, I mean, drive your car, you have to consider all of the consequences. If I go out there and eat that cake right now, I'm not supposed to be doing it, but we know what's going to happen. So I think as adult people, we just have to understand that that's life. We can't control everything. You can't control your behavior. You're not in control of yourself all the time. And I do believe that you have to go through all the emotions. There's no such thing as a good emotion and a bad emotion. You cannot stop anger. You cannot stop fear. You cannot stop sadness. I think I said in my video, if you watched it, there's actually a children's movie called Inside Out. And I love that movie because Joy just kept trying to stop. It was so annoying. I said, Joy, let her be sad. And they figured out that when Joy basically let sadness be sad, she cried, she got through it, and she felt better on the other end. I think what we actually saw was somebody who was fed up with not just that night one joke. We all know these are people. They know each other. I'm sure they were friends. I'm sure he's like, look, enough. You know what I mean? And I don't think before you get up and slap somebody, you plan to. I think it's spur of the moment. I think that he was full of nerves walking up there. I think he did it. And I think the smile made sense. Because after I get to do something that I've been holding in, I'm going to smile. I'm going to feel joyous. And then, and then he kissed his wife, and then he danced hard as heck at the after party. If that's not a clear example of what that movie was talking about, I don't know what was. And I think that as Black people, and I'm going to take it back to Black people, I know people don't like to talk about race, but it exists. We're not going to act like it doesn't exist. White people are treated different than Black people. Black women are treated worse than everybody. We just treat worse than everybody. And a lot of times, the people who treat us the worst are our men. So every other race of women gets to be feminine and wear a gown and sit up there. This is not the only place you see a woman get cracked on. This is not the only place. A lot of times it's not even at a comedy show. A lot of the time we just get a joke cracked on us at our expense because everybody know we ain't finna do nothing but chuckle. Like it's funny because we don't know how to police our emotions and our anything. Just like she brought up the trans thing. You have a whole trans thing going on. Jay know how I feel about that. Everybody's trying to replace the Black woman except Black women. Black women are not policing their image. He would not be able to talk about a white woman's image. They don't do it. It doesn't exist. Just go look it up. And I always tell somebody, when you find Black people cracking on white women, let me see it. Because it don't happen. And I think that we have to just have to let it happen sometimes. And sometimes those moments are life changing. That slap heard around the whole world. We're still talking about it because it's actually deeper than a slap. Just like when George Floyd got murdered, that shook the nation. But you see, we're still seeing effects on it. It was a bad thing that happened. But you can't say came from it or bad came from it. That's what I mean by the big picture. There is no good and there is no bad. There are things that happen and it affects people differently. And it goes out into the world, it can be good or bad for some people. I think this was a great moment. I do. I'm here for it. I was here for the slap. I'm here for everything that came back. Sometimes people you just gotta shake people so that they can have certain conversations. White people in the media are now commenting on this, saying, comparing Will Smith to Hitler. How can you say that? And y'all just the kings of slavery. Slavery existed. They pillage, they rape, they beat, they still do it, they lie, we don't get reparations, and ain't nobody holding them a chopping block. So that's what I'm saying. We just have to be real. We can't just focus on the situation, judge a man who's not God. Judge a man so harshly. I have my opinion. I think he should be dealt with, but I don't think slavery. I think it was a That's what I think.
Now, let me ask this because everybody said that moment took away from the whole show, the whole moment. Now, Questlove was the one that won the Oscar for Best Documentary. Do y'all think, and I'm going to start with you, Palestine, that an apology is owed from Chris Rock or Will Smith or both of them from taking away from his moment? Because right when it happened, he won. The audience was still like in shock. So do you think either one of them or both of them should apologize for Chris?
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on this area, on this subject. Like I say, I just when I came in on it, I just saw everybody talking about Chris Rock slapping Will Smith. I didn't know all to the extent or what part of it was, so I can't really just say on that.
Okay. Sherelle, what do you think? Do you think Chris or Will or both of them owe Questlove an apology because that took his moment? A lot of people are thinking.
I don't think Chris owes anybody. I think that Will slapped him. He caused the issue. He walked up on stage and he so should anybody apologize? It should be Will. And if Chris should apologize just like he did to Wanda Sykes, and she felt like you did nothing wrong. Then I with Jim, if you don't know, we go back and listen to it, I pretty much agree with everything. Now he doesn't owe him an apology, and I'm convinced that the only reason, because I follow Will Smith a lot of times, the only reason he mentioned God in his apostolic speech is because Denzel, who is a spiritual man, who is a man of God, told him, hey, look, when you're at your highest, after you. And then he goes on to say, God is calling me to love, but you know God calling you to love, but you ain't got enough love in you to apologize to Chris for just slapping him. So you go all over that and apologize to the Academy. So no, Chris Rock doesn't owe anybody an apology. Will should be apologizing to people around the world. He needs to get on a video and do it. I want to see if it's sincere. Not like that BS, apology that his attorney wrote. It was nothing sincere.
Kiana, do you think Questlove is owed an apology? Do you think both of them or either one of them needs to apologize? Because a lot of people think it took away from his moment.
No, I don't. I don't think Chris has to apologize for anybody. I do think Will should apologize. Whether it's genuine or not, I don't know. I've apologized and I ain't mean it sometimes because that's what people like to hear. They like to hear sorry when you really ain't. So sometimes I do it. But I just feel like what was I gonna say? I feel like this situation is just being looked at from a lot of different people with one perspective. And I actually, when I say I follow Will Smith, I'm actually following his spiritual journey. So he is actually studying with monks and he studies all religions, actually. He's trying to get understanding of all of them. And I've heard him on hour-long podcasts talking about the things that he does to get closer to God. That's why I believe it was sincere. I just do. But I also feel like it was just necessary. Not to say it was necessary for Chris to get slapped, but certain things, it's proving itself. If you're a kind of a deeper thinker, certain moments ricochet. They do. You got to pay attention to how many people are talking about this. You have conspiracy theorists who say, "Oh no, it was staged. It was CGI, and all this stuff." And I'm like, y'all so used to social media, y'all just used to thinking so hard. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple. You pinch me, it's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna say, "Ow." You don't have to be like, no, because when she pinched, and I seen her right eye flinch. People right eye don't be flinching like that when people get pinched. It's just too, like, really just take it back to the basics. You keep cracking on somebody in their marriage, they're gonna get upset. And not only that, I had a taste of the whole. You already know that person that I had a taste of her Bob coming for me, and that was on a small scale. That is a lot to take in when people's fans and the world is gossiping about your private business. And I know they sharing it. I know they sharing it. But I'm saying it's just taking a toll and stuff builds up. So like I said, I won't, if you start judging people and say, see, he shouldn't be able to do that. When you make a mistake, you got to understand that people will hold you to the fire the same way. Don't I feel like people should, it's the same thing, and I know I'm gonna stop after this. It's the same thing with the vaccines. That was really something that really grabbed my attention on people's behavior. You have people saying you should get it, people saying you shouldn't. People should not be talking about what other people should do. But people gotten so used to putting their opinion out there, they really think that they say, I'm human, but you acting like God. Leave him to do his job. That's his job to do it. They talk about, well, they should. I done heard so many people say, well, when people go to the hospital, if they're not vaccinated, you need to turn them away, children and all. I said, what is this? Well, you gonna turn a child away? You gonna turn a child away from the hospital? Because if you say it one way, it gotta be in all areas, and that's never gonna happen. It can't. You can't just do the same thing for everybody. No, I don't condone it, but I'm here for it.
Okay.
Jesse, can I just interject to just kind of piggyback off something Kiana said that I think that is important, but I don't think that it's our fight. I don't think that it's any of our business, because what goes on in the Johnson household, we have to deal with those issues inside of here. And I heard Kiana say, well, they've taken so much, and they opened up and people sharing it, and they sharing that, and they gloating putting their private lives out there. But you can't put it out there and think that it's just not gonna be talked about. So when I think about, and I've heard a lot of people say that, like, he's just tired of being the butt of the jokes. But why did that one man have to? Why was that the straw that broke the camel's back? Like, that's Will's business, and he has to deal with those issues about those entanglements and Jada being the butt of jokes. But you have to remember that when you put your business out there, it's fair game, and nobody should have to pay for those insecurities except for the people who in fact cause them or who are in your house. So, like, none of that part really matters to me. It was just that moment when that joke was made should not have pushed you over the edge, because you got so much going on. When you're the one who's opened your life up, you should deal with those issues on the side, so that you don't feel like you're the butt of jokes, and that you one day get tired of it, and Chris Rock got to take the hit for it, like literally.
Now, that was actually my next question. I'm glad you rolled into it. And I'll start with you, Polish Night, because a lot of people say that they have put so much out there, from the red table talk to the entanglement, from his book. Like, I have his book, and I'm on chapter 15. To me, it's two different wheels. But a lot of people are saying, like Amy said, if you put certain things out there, like before the book dropped, every day they were in the news with something being said. So do you think that him and her are sort of to blame for some of the things that they have to deal with? Or do you think it's their right to put stuff out there? Like, he was just so stressed out and dealing with so much from Jada this to different things that he just finally exploded. Do you think that they put too much of their lives out there?
No, I don't. And a lot of times, before they even put their lives out there, people, and we was digging in their lives, making assumptions, saying they was in Pandora box, they were swingers. Now, we was in their business. But my thing is this: I just can't call the mold out somebody else's eyes and not call the mold out mine. I just can't say what they're doing if they put it out there or not, because you got some people that just miss their nose. Some people feel the way that they feel based on how they live and deal with their lives. Okay, not just at the workforce. If a lot of us wasn't as professional, it was some things that we probably want to do at the workforce based on people we dealt with, things that we have shared. A lot of people have shared things in confidence, and people took it and made them out and caused problems for an individual, especially, in the workforce. So I just feel like a lot of our opinions based on how we carry ourselves and how we deal with people as a whole. I'm not myself personally. I give people chances. I understand that things may happen. Just like we see kids fighting or shooting with guns, we see a lot of comments say, well, we need to go back into the day when men just box. I'm not gonna say I like a man that's classy with a thug in him, but if it gets to the point you have to throw some blows, be a man. Be a man. Do what you have to do. But instead of just pulling out the gun. So I just that's my opinion on that situation. I mean, like, everybody's ridiculing this man for one incident that we saw. We on the scene, we are a Fresh Prince aspect. We always see him in Compton. We don't know the real Will Smith. We don't know the real, and even on Instagram, we don't know if that's the real Smith or not, because we all put on a persona. We don't see everybody highlights and high lows on Instagram and the social media. So I just can't really just say, because every aspect I've seen him in, even with the video Summertime, has been comical. Like, he don't have feelings, like he don't have the right to express himself, like he don't have the right to feel the different levels of emotion. So I don't know. I can't say.
Okay. Now, this last question, because I'm going to wrap it up, and I want y'all opinions because y'all all have touched on it a little bit. Now, people are saying his Oscar should be taken. He should be banned. Some people think he should go to jail. Some people think he should have to pay Chris Rock, like, emotional distress. Some people say Chris Rock should sue him. Now, I personally feel like his Oscar shouldn't be taken. And I feel like it should be taken because it was for his acting in the movie. Even though what he did, whether people agree with it or not, he earned the Oscar. I don't think that should be taken. So I'm going to start with you, Kiana. Do you think the Oscar should be taken, or do you think he should be banned from the Oscars? Do you think he should go to jail or pay some money?
I think whatever people decide to do, he should get. If Chris decides to press charges, then he going to jail, or if he decides to, if the jail finds him, whatever. I think whatever the law says and whatever the Oscars say, I think he should do that. I do, and I think that people are so scared of losing physical things. He got so much money. First of all, if he just had to pay, that wouldn't be nothing. And giving back his Oscar ain't gonna do nothing either. I'm not saying that he already won. You know what I'm saying? We all saw it. He won. And yeah, any consequences that he gets, I feel like he should, have them. But it doesn't change his feelings about what he did. I think as a man, as a person, you're gonna feel bad for doing something like that, the Oscars or anywhere. You're gonna feel bad about yourself, especially if you're on a spiritual journey. And like he said, he's been called to be loving. You're gonna be hard on yourself because people seem to think that when you're loving, you can't get mad. When you're loving and you believe in God, you can't throw hands. Yes, you can. I be cussing and everything. So you can do all of that. You can't be perfect. So I just feel like this is a great teaching and learning opportunity for people to treat people. This is an actual thing. People say this, but treat people how you would want to be treated. You're going to nail somebody to the cross, expect to be nailed to the cross when you slip up. It's just simple. So you just have to, that's why I say I don't judge. I can have my opinion. But I'll never be like, send him to jail. Take it. I ain't gonna do all that. Let them do that. The lawmakers. And I think he's man enough. I believe we will see him, not like Jesse Smollett embarrassing himself. I think that we will see him just take his consequences. That's what I think.
Polish Night, do you think they should take his Oscar? Do you think he should be banned from the show for the rest of his life? Should he be sued? Should he go to jail?
Neither. Because everybody make mistakes. A lot of people make mistakes. We just don't know anything about. He's no different than any other race out here. We all done it. They done it too. We just don't know about it. Nope. I think that him and Chris Rock should deal with it on their own.
In private.
Mm-hmm. And move on, because I'm tired of talking about it.
Sherelle, do you think they should take the Oscar? Do you think they should ban him from the show? Should, he be sued? Your thoughts?
No, I don't think that they should take his Oscar. He's won an Oscar. He obviously did a good job. So, no, I don't think they should take his Oscar, and they won't, because they didn't take Harvey Weinstein, so they wouldn't dare take Will's. But I think that we have to get, I back to what Kiana was saying. I do think that sometimes because people think we're punks. Okay, they think they can punk you because you're a Christian, and I'm Christian. And we also have a duty to try to do and live according. And I know there are some things that make us mad. I had an example this morning. But Jesus got angry, but he sinned not. And I think we have to get to that point. He may never, okay? But I had an incident that happened this morning where I really wanted to snap. I wanted to go on social media and snap. I wanted to call the person and snap. But God is calling me higher, right? So I said, I don't want no smoke with Jesus. I don't want no smoke with God. So when you know that you're gonna get in trouble for not by man, right? Not by man, but when you know that you're being disobedient, and had I gone on Facebook, called the person and went off, I was gonna be directed by a higher power, right? So we have to get to a place in our walk or on our spiritual journey or whatever. We do have to get to a place where we turn that other cheek. Will some of us get there? Maybe not. But did it take a lot for me this morning to be obedient and not go out the hinges? It absolutely took a lot. But I said, thank you, God, for growth. But I do realize that everybody is not in the same place at the same time. And so we do have to learn to appreciate people exactly where they are. And so, if you're going to talk about the journey, and then, we throw the word around like judgment. Now, the Bible speaks about judgment. So, but if Jesse says that he's a Christian, and Amy says that she's a Christian, then according to the Bible, I can judge Jesse because I wouldn't be able to correct him or tell him, pull him to the side and say, hey, brother, this is not something you need to be indulging in. How could I do that unless I look and judge that situation? So if we're on the same level as somebody spiritually, we can judge them. What we can't do is judge people of the world. But I'm grateful that Will is, like she said, she probably follows him more. Kiana follows him more than I do. And I'm glad he's on that journey. But so to answer the question, and to get it back, no, I don't think that they should take his Oscar, which I don't think they'll do. I think that he should definitely suffer the consequences that the board and whatever sanctions that the board sets in place. And I think that really, if they ask him to leave, I think he should have had enough respect for the Academy to go ahead and leave.
But they didn't actually.
Yes, they did.
No, they were confirmed that was not true. They confirmed it was not true.
They asked him to leave.
No, they didn't.
Okay. Well, we'll just agree to disagree. your source is from, and you probably don't know where mine is from. So we'll agree to disagree on that. But had they asked him to leave, then he should have left. And if
I
they
agree.
did, then, hey,
If they did, he should have left. That's a lie.
They didn't ask him to leave. They confirmed it. That's true.
Yeah, I think people they really should be dealt with. Like I've suffered a lot of consequences for my behavior from people and from God. And it's teachable moments, But sometimes God, he just be calling you to slap people.
Just as well as the unjust.
Come on now, Kiki.
I've been with things in war, so he brings
Sometimes he tell me, and I say I can't do that.
it. Be on both sides, so it hey, so it don't mean nothing. I watch the fruit.
The best thing that time it does.
Well, I want to thank each one of you ladies for joining me. Now, I will wrap up by saying this. I have done things. I have made mistakes. I have actually logged onto my Facebook, and you know how the memories pop up of things you posted from years ago, and I get ashamed of some of the things you posted. Like, what was I thinking? I think everybody is, how they say, you one choice away from going to jail, or you one choice away from making a great decision. I think he made a mistake, and we all make mistakes. I think everybody has echoed that sentiment. We all make mistakes, and we all learn from them. So hopefully they can both move forward, because you never know if you're saying something that's offensive to somebody. We've all said things we might not think is offensive, or we might not think our hand hurts that hard when we slap somebody. But at the end of the day, we all got to learn to grow and learn from our mistakes. And everybody is human. So I don't look at it as, oh, he's this movie star, he can't make a mistake. We're all human. We're all going to always make mistakes. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. And everybody's gonna have an opinion. Everybody keeps saying it's the slap heard around the world, and people are gonna say, Jada, your man took up for you, and you better stand by your man like Tammy Wynette. And some people are gonna say, Will, you did wrong. But guess what? Next week, y'all gonna be talking about something else, baby. It might be Jesse Smollett. It might be R. Kelly singing on somebody's phone.
We can't slap regular people like
they're doing with the world. Why this is a distraction? Because every time we get distracted, it's some surprises. Okay.
Slap regular people like me. I want to get paid.
He's not gonna slap you.
This is a big distraction. I'm telling you.
But I don't think Chris Rock is, from what they're saying, I don't think he's going to press charges. I think he might have understood that it was a moment. So
I just said that he confirmed that he won't press charges. I think Chris was just as shocked as everybody else, but I think that he'll do the right thing. I mean, he's selling out shows $400 a ticket. He just got richer.
Yeah. But I bet won't nobody be saying nothing about Jada with Will around. So
not even me. And I'm waiting. I don't want no smoke from people.
They're protecting the black woman. Even to protect black women, because we don't do that either. That's another topic.
What's another topic, Nita?
Black women don't protect black women.
Well, I know that from Magnolia.
That's another topic.
You see what a big gig at now, don't you?
Which one? The big one, the big one. The one that's sick.
You're gonna have to call me because I think he'll be in court.
So I got a DM too just the other day. Oh, they've been calling me asking how to transition up here.
Where are you?
In Nashville.
Oh, you're in Nashville.
They've been calling me trying to transition up here, haven't they, Jay?
Yeah, they have been. So y'all follow these ladies. They all are working on things. Kiana has Kiana Vision here on YouTube. Follow all of her series. Polished Night, if you want the fashion, if you want the makeup, if you want the skincare, she has her YouTube.
Shopping up here. I'm getting ready. As soon as I get through, I'm getting ready to post. They have some good vintage shopping, some good deals.
So
You
she's gonna help y'all. Go to
You-
Polish Night and her Instagram.
Okay.
And Sherelle has Signature Strand. You can go to her website, www.signaturestrand.com, and her Instagram is Signature Strand. And y'all go support these ladies.
And what's Kiana, what's your YouTube?
Kiana Vision.
Huh?
It's Kiana Vision. I actually haven't been posting. I literally just privated like 200 videos. But I'll be back with the Black Content Corner soon.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, we're gonna be here with the Bell Collectors. We're gonna have a show with the Bell Collectors.
Yeah.
We gonna come back and talk about Bell Collective, y'all, because I think it's coming back.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all, ladies.
All right. Thank you.
All right,
I
guys.
enjoyed it.
All right.
Bye-bye.